Didn't really get to do much with this morning journal. I'm trying to see if I can get this 7:15 bus. Otherwise, we'll rock out. But I was sitting there I had a buddy of mine. I was sending some stuff, and we was trading a few messages. And he painted an interesting comment. He says, "Our black folks is arguing online about feathers and tribes and all kind of stuff." And he said the world is moving ahead. The world's going to the George Jetsons. And I said, that's an interesting point. Come on now, you're gonna make me miss my bus. Come on now. Dude. This nigga here. And I said, that's an interesting point. Is the world leaving us behind? I think I'm going to cover that a little bit. Yeah, this Negro almost made me miss my bus. Hold on. Might as well take a little time since I done did so much work. No, I was kind of pondering on that earlier discussion I was having. I had to hurry up and go catch the bus, so I couldn't really, do my thing. But, yeah, as everybody is going, and I was going to Culver's the other day, and grabbing something to eat. And the other night, I noticed that there's a bunch of EV charging stations. And that made me even think more about the statement that he made about, everybody else is, we Fred Flintstone in it right now. And everybody else is headed towards the Jetsons. We're literally in the George Jetsons. And I start to kind of wonder, do black folks focus on too much of the past? Well, the past is a cursor to the present. It's a placeholder and a milestone to the future. History does repeat itself. But do we focus too much on, what does Umar call it, being the pharaoh, as opposed to being, the thought process leaders of the future? That poses a good question. When I wrote my second book, I talked about a lot of historical things. And I covered some creepy futuristic stuff as well, which leads me into this next conversation of a story that I want to do. That thing I've been wanting to do for a minute called the Bina 48. That one's going to be funny. That one's going to be, you're not going to believe some of the stuff that I'm going to try covering. I'm going to try my best with covering that with a straight face. I might have to turn the camera off because some of the analogies that I'm going to be using in some of the stuff is just, it's going to be hard. It's serious, but at the same time, it's going to be, it's so ridiculous that it's going to be funny as hell, but I kind of thought about when you think about George Jetson and stuff like that. And I was watching something the other night. That's another thing that I want to kind of talk about without spoiling it. Alien Earth, the new series. I've always been a huge sci-fi person. Prometheus I've seen about 1 million times. And it seems like everything, and really I'm there mainly for the score. The storyline is one thing, but the score, that's what I'm really there for more than anything. And so I notice there's a heavy theme of transhumanism. Now we know eugenics has never helped our folks. It's always been a monkey wrench in the game. You can shout out to Margaret Sanger for that, and to many others, Pioneer Fund, all of them. Eugenics has never been a friend of black folk worldwide. Shout out to IBM, if you know the story. But anyway, there was a heavy theme of transhumanism. And if you happen to see it, and I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty much a movie. It's pretty much a movie. I was 40 minutes in, and then I got tired. I tried to take a, I said, pour me a little drink of Hennessy. I said, no, I'm not gonna make it. But the music is phenomenal. The cinematic is the cinematography is phenomenal. And I'm kind of glad that they waited to do it, because they probably could have did a series many years ago, and I could see that they took their time. So far, episode 1 is out of this world. So I'm gonna rewatch that again. I'm gonna start over and rewatch that again so I can get a lot more context. But I started thinking about there was a piece that I put in my second book where I was talking about AI and transhumanism, and a guy that wrote a dissertation on it, and how they're trying to use it in different things. I just got word on a new position in Jackson, Minnesota. It don't hardly pay nothing, so I posted it, but I don't know if it'll do anybody much justice. It's about like an hour and a half away, so anybody in that area, if you just happen to know somebody, and they got a long laundry list of things that they want you to do. It really should be $35 an hour, but I posted it anyway. Might as well. It's what they call field support position. I told y'all about some of those positions where they want to give janky rates. Another story that I'm going to talk about is that contracting and that rate per hour. Why are the rates so low? Well, there was a brother that kind of broke down. I might do that story today and post it. But there was a brother that was breaking down the contract rates and how they work. And he was based in Minneapolis. I won't name the company. I don't know if he's still there. But I know somebody that had got placed through this place. I won't say where, but so that's all I really got for you guys right now. I was gonna say a little bit more, but I had a little list and I must have left it somewhere. But yeah. Another thing. Well, I'll cover that another time. So. Yeah, I'll cover it another time.